Hello once again, all you toy fanatics, and welcome back once again to ElChizzoReviews. You've already seen this review. However, I did not have the equipment I have now, so I would just wanted to go over it again for those of you who would wished for better quality in it. We're looking at the deluxe white WizarDriver from Kamen Rider Wizardo. And at first glance, it does look like a repaint. You know, it's got the same glossy. Oh, it is really glossy too. Look, you can almost see my hand's reflection. It's got that same glossy plastic in the hand and shiny chroming on the edges. Except you don't notice until you get to the molding. It actually has these little pointy nails molded in. So it's really a remold. 'Cause pointy nails make you evil. And it does, unlike the WizarDriver, which has a bluish gray coat, it's black instead. As far as aesthetics go, it's basically the same other than that, though. I do have a belt for it. I use the shoelace technique to modify it, and it's made of a soft rubbery plastic. Again, it's shiny black, so it basically sucks fingerprints off your hands from across the room, same as the driver itself. If we look at the top, there is White Wizard's symbol right there on a silver button. Let's get that in, you know. Come on. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for my autofocus to pick it up right. There we go. It's really nice. You can actually see the speaker behind it, thanks to this camera. Normally you won't be able to, though. Unless you shine a light directly into it, it's no biggie. And yes, mine does have a few fingerprints off of it because, hey, it's shiny black plastic. It'll suck these things off your hands from across the room. Well, I guess I should show you the dragon on the back. Yes, they molded in the dragon on the part that's pressed up against your stomach. No penny was spared for this. And I love it. It was a good idea. Well, now that we've looked at the molding and the painting, why don't we look at the rings this thing comes with? The rings themselves are not very eventful. We'll look at his spell ring first, simply because it's the one that we're most familiar with. It's cast in silver plastic with a purple translucent disc on top for the detailing. Not much is going on. There's not really a dragon depicted in it like most of Wizard's spell rings. Instead, it's got what looks like the White Wizard's eye lenses against an explosion-like background. It's, like I said, the same basic mold, and as with all the rings, if you know this toy line, you can take these out and actually replace them with adult sizes. However, I ran out of money before doing that, so these will only fit on my pinky, and then I have to pry them off. Come on, autofocus. White Wizard's change ring is a little bit different from anything you've seen before. Not that, in small ways. It's got the same little crest there and the pointed chin. However, what it has that makes it different from Wizard is it's got a more rough cut look. You'd think that his would be more gem-like and cut and clean because, you know, he's the master wizard, and that wizard himself, being what one could call an apprentice, I guess, would have a more rough cut look. But I suppose it does kind of make it look like the stone is wrinkled and old, so yeah, that works too. Like with Wizard's rings, it does have a visor that snaps down, and it is on a hinge. What stops out are these two little tabs. That way, you know, you don't screw up and possibly bang this thing against the plastic of the ring and chip it. There is some minor molding in the back, but it's not really that impressive. Now, we've looked at the rings, we've looked at the belt. Let's put the two together, shall we? The switch is here. White Wizard's symbol. Let's start with the change, just because that's what he would do in the show. You are loud. That's something I want to talk about. As you hold the ring over the driver, it will repeat the name of the ring until you take it away. I couldn't pick up the LED because of the light I'm using, but there is an orange LED in here. I like this one because, you know, it gives sort of like a choir. Like it implies power that, well, Wizard didn't have. And if you listen really closely, his song, his transformation song, is a little bit lower. Instead of going shabba-dooby touch a hand sheen, it's more deep. It's deeper and more bellowy, I guess the word is. I don't know words. Well, now we've looked at that. Let's look at the ring. That's another thing I want to talk about. The timing with these can be a little difficult. So you may end up cutting a word off before you take it away. So let's try that again. And if you know the WizardDriver, you do have to reset it before using another spell. Now, that one was better, I'll have to admit. It does have they're both orange LEDs. It's nothing really impressive. If I had a WizardDriver or any of the rings, I would show you. Oh, yeah, look at me. You can see me looking through the viewfinder. I would show you exactly all the stuff it can do with wizard rings, because what it does is, for most of Wizard's rings, there is a new phrase programmed into here. However, even if I did, I'd probably say go buy the toy yourself and experiment with it. Take your wizard ring collection and see which ones make a new noise. You know, discover them for yourself. Yes, I'm being cheap. Did you really expect any more of me? Well, this has been ElChizzo, and wait a minute. One thing I forgot is this toy. How do I put this? Certain rings were actually recently released for it. Extra rings. If you watch the show, then you know about the Kamen Rider mages. They're these little, basically white wizards, puppets. Anywho, they've got their own rings. They all look similar but in different colors. The first one you'll find is orange, like this one. They all make the same noise, but if you want to finish your collection, I would recommend getting them. Just because they were made for this belt, and they should be used as part of this belt. And I don't think a collection would be complete without them. I'm going to try to collect them now that the market has dropped for them, and you should be able to find them cheaper, because this new Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider Gaima, is still getting underway. So here's hoping I can get some cheap rings. Thank you so much for watching. This has been ElChizzoReviews.